Good morning and welcome. I'm Van Bedient with Adobe. We are super excited to be here, and I'm very sincerely grateful for your time today, spending a Saturday with us. We have a pretty packed agenda, a lot of exciting things to show you today. And I'm just going to spend a few minutes kind of walking through what we'll be covering today, and then we'll turn it over to some of our great presenters. But again, very happy to be here. I'm local here in Los Angeles. I head up our local Hollywood team. We do have a local team. We'll introduce some of the folks to you. Let's take a minute to do that now. Starting off with Mike Camphor, who's been kind of our film champion for quite a long time here at Adobe. Because we're here to connect with you guys, we certainly we want to make an exciting, entertaining day. We'd also love to speak to you. If you have questions about Premiere, if you want to get to know any of the team, we roll pretty deep. There's another slide of people here I'm going to show. So we have a lot of people from Adobe here today, and we're all super excited to be here. And continuing on, so we got a row of engineering folks here. So we do have a lot of folks that are local engineers in Los Angeles area or surrounding area, and I'll talk about that a little more. But you know, as far as the corporate reach of Adobe, it's pretty exciting to be at a company where it's very progressive culture, really people who are passionate about the content creation business and wanting to advance it and help make the tools that all of you magicians use to create amazing content. We're all actually fans of you and all the great work that you do. It's been interesting to see the digital transformation. That's obviously been you know, it's kind of buckle up. It's been a pretty wild ride the last few years and how quickly things are changing, not only with technology, but just in the industry in general. And then we're using a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is a popular AI and buzzword and things these days, but we'll show you a number of features today that are based on artificial intelligence and machine learning that are actually shipping in current products. So some exciting stuff happening there. In the old days, we were just talking about some of the folks here we've known 20, 25 years, you know, and at one point it was filmed. There was this kind of mythical thing called a locked picture where it was a fairly serial workflow where you finished one part and then it went to the next part and they finished their part and it went on from there, and that's so far long gone. It's just not even funny how iterative and how parallel all the workflows are now and the processes that you have to go to, and often editorial is the hub of all of this content that's coming in and out and part of a greater ecosystem. So it's been a real interesting process for us just to go from, you know, historically maybe a lot of users who used Premiere Pro and they brought media in and they edited it and they exported it, and that still happens quite a bit, but in a lot of professional post-production workflows, you know, actually no frame of video comes out of the editing system that ever makes it to the final deliverable. It's more of lists and things that are coming out, and you have dailies and you have graphics and audio and color and visual effects and all these different processes going on. So making sure that we're really helping to develop interchange, working with partners, and making sure that we can be a healthy a part of that ecosystem. It's been very important for us, and certainly something that we're always learning and always looking to learn as it progresses. And you'll see some really amazing automation from our next presenters in a second. And across the line of our product apps, from Photoshop to Audition, which is our audio editing app, Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Media Encoder. You know, my background, I spent 17 years at Avid before I came to Adobe 6 years ago. And you know, what's really impressed me is that I've literally never been in a meeting internally at Adobe where anybody has even suggested, no, we can't let them leave the suite of apps. You know, it's just not the philosophy of Adobe. If we're not making the best product that does whatever this task is, or there's something else that's the industry standard here, we just work to adapt around that. We were just talking about Adobe launched a stock footage company and has integrated stock footage experience. We also just helped a stock footage partner, Pond5, integrate their app inside ours. So that's a really significant symbolization of openness to me, that we're actually embracing our competitive products and helping them integrate if that's what customers want to serve the greater good. Then that's, you know, what our philosophy is based around. So you know, APIs and SDKs are really part and part, and we'll talk about some of the partners that we've integrated with. MediaCore, and if any of you were here last year, we kind of teased this a little bit. MediaCore is the kind of core shared engine across all of these applications, and there'll be some exciting announcements coming around bringing our products to you on every different type of device and platform and tablet. And you'll see some of those announcements really soon. Now this graphic, I didn't do the lower section, but the one that's media encoder, that kind of looks like the Jetsons, you know, what was it, Rosie? It's kind of Rosie. I think that's media encoder in the cloud and cloud-based storage, so we're certainly working a lot to connect into that. In a lot of cases in professional post-production, it's still just not accepted. Security reasons, everything has to be offline. We can absolutely work in those environments. Every year as it begins to get a little more approachable and cloud-based solutions become a little more mainstream, we certainly want to be on the leading edge of that as well. And I mentioned the partner ecosystem. So we actually let partners integrate their application, and we'll show you some examples of this right inside the application. Like I reached out to the PhotoChem and the NextLab team have been developing an integrated panel. So I reached out to them yesterday. I have a preview of that I can show you. It's actually built right into the application, so you really have this kind of seamless experience. So the partnerships are just incredibly important to us. Again, we want to be a part of the ecosystem. We're not trying to be the ecosystem. In our focus in professional post-production, and prior to a couple years ago, there was a lot of focus in advertising and broadcast and sports and news and a lot of different segments of the market. Social media is a big part for us. We had folks like Mike Camphor and the team that was really dedicated to film and working with Fincher's team and the Coens and other folks, but there really wasn't the infrastructure behind it that we've built over the last couple of years. So we did open a local office here in Los Angeles. It's down in Santa Monica. The renovation has taken forever. I think building in Santa Monica is especially difficult, but just building in general is tough. But we built out a first-class edit suite that we're really excited about. It's an edit suite that will be open to folks like you. One of the things we're going to talk about is the training that we do. So you're welcome to come to our office. We're happy to come to you, but for all ACE members, we offer free one-on-one Adobe training with Vashi or one of our top trainers. So it's not go to a classroom, it's not here's a coupon to take an online tutorial. We'll actually send a film editor to come sit with you one-on-one, go through questions with you. This is something that we offer just exclusively for ACE, so that's at our expense. We'll provide you software. So if you just have time, if you're between projects or you're on hiatus or have an interest in learning more about Premiere, we want you to reach out to us. I'll talk to you about how you do that. And we're happy to send a trainer to sit with you and just kind of walk you through Premiere and let you know what it does. So please take advantage of that. We're excited about that. You met some of the local engineering and field team. Obviously, we know having a presence here is important. I think I last counted about 16 people that we have dedicated just on the film team focused on the Hollywood market. So obviously we're very committed to this. That's not the Premiere team. The whole Premiere team is an entirely separate beast, but this is just our film and TV engagement team that works directly with customers like yourself here in the market. We've been doing MPEG training sessions, so Carl Soule does once a month or so, evenings or Saturdays at MPEG, free group sessions, again, just trying to make training accessible to anybody who wants to learn Premiere and help understand professional workflows using our products. The project engagements are actually kind of the films and TV shows that we take on. So our dedicated team here is actually just here to help kind of serve those type of projects. We'll get into it. We'll help determine what the workflow should look like. We'll set up a hotline and an email list so you can email questions. We'll talk to you about feature requests. We do a ton of custom features. Based on editor feedback and assistant feedback that make it into the product that are applicable to everybody, that everybody gets to use. So the two gentlemen to our right have probably done as much as anybody to help improve the product for professional workflows and give us feedback about things that are going to help optimize their process or tedial tasks that we can help remove and optimize during their editing process. Technical training and support, we're starting to work more with the rental companies. We're working with the Technicolor, Z-Films, Deluxe, PhotoChems on the pipeline for Conform to make sure that the Conform process is smooth so that we don't hit bumps along the way. Audio turnovers, we're working with sound departments and Skywalker Sound and Fox Studios, just making sure that our AAF turnover process is smooth as well. I mean, all of these kind of things that are just maturity of the application. Again, when used to be just bring media in and export it out, and that was fairly simple, but now being part of this bigger ecosystem, there's certainly a lot of development to do that, and that's a lot of what our team's focused on. We're also doing, we have a web page that we can send you follow-up on that we're putting workflow tutorials that are focused on high-end professional post-production. So how do I do an AF turnover? What do these settings mean? How do the shared projects work? So very specific to professional post-production and Hollywood workflows. And we've set up an email for ACE members, which is fairly easy to remember. So ace@adobe.com. If you are interested in training, if you have any questions at all, if you're potentially taking on a project and you're new to Adobe and you just want us to help walk you through it, you need some on-site support, you have a technical question, you have a licensing question, you have any kind of question, this is set up for you guys to just be able to just email us right away. One of the team will get back to you right away. We're happy to help in any way. So this is kind of your white glove concierge service that's exclusive to American Cinema editors. Please take advantage of it. And just about wrapping up, as I was putting a few slides together, and I really want to get off slides and get into presentations, this was from the presentation we did last year. And as I was looking through it, I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. We're actually showing and demonstrating every single thing I mentioned on here today. So some of the sneak peeks and things you're going to get a look at. This last year, I said, here's looking forward, some of the things we're focused on over the next year. And here we are back a year later, and we've got most of these checked off, or we'll show you prototypes of the things that we've been working on. So we're excited to get into that, into the demos. I didn't list what we're looking on moving forward because right now we're really focused on, we've got a lot of great tool sets in there. We just want to work on performance, stability, and just hardening the system, making it bulletproof, and making it up to the requirements of the deadlines and the type of cutting rooms that you guys operate in.